I know everybody a go like. I know everybody a go like. Success don't come overnight. No matter know a substance over hype. Do it for the love, and I do it for the life.
What's good? Welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real. I'm live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Keeping It Real is your go-to show for personal and professional development, diving deep into fitness, public speaking, networking, and sometimes real estate. I appreciate you joining me today, whether live or on the replay. If you are watching live, say hello in the comments. This is a live show. Let's connect. This isn't just a show. It's the start of a growing community. Together, we can build a space where like-minded individuals can connect, learn, and grow personally and professionally. What's next in your personal or professional journey? Comment below and let's kick things off together. Hello, I'm Jason Harris, and I'm unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston, but maybe not this far south. Also known as Coach FitPro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. I'm the coach who talks the talk and walks the walk. I've been there, done that, and now I empower real estate professionals and entrepreneurs to take control of their nutrition and fitness without feeling overwhelmed by keeping it simple, keeping it moving, and keeping it real. Welcome to the weekly live broadcast, Keeping It Real. Okay, today we're starting with the core 4 of networking segment. After that, from stage fright to spotlight, the public speaking segment of the show. Then we'll get into fitness success, the 4 pillars of achievement. And then we'll finish up with the real estate roundup segment. Let's get started. The core 4 of networking. Networking is an essential skill in both business and personal development. In the core 4 of networking segment, I break down the key practices for building strong, lasting relationships. Do you know what the core 4 is? Have you ever heard of them? They're right there on the screen. But if you haven't, here's a short clip that'll get you up to speed. What's up? I'm here with Al to give you guys another networking tip. We've given you 3 so far, and today we're going to give you a 4th. But before we do, let's recap. What's the first thing they got to do, Al?
Show up.
You got to be present and accounted for. What's the second thing?
Be yourself.
You be you, your authentic self, because nobody likes fake people. Not a good look. What's number 3?
Pay attention.
You got to do some active listening. You got to know what's going on. You don't want to stare into somebody's eyes and nod your head thinking about what you got to say next. Pay attention. And now that the recap's done, I think the 4th one's the most important. What do you think, Al?
Oh yeah, there's no point in doing all 3 if you don't do the 4th.
That's right. So why is the 4th so important now?
Because the fortune's in the FU.
What do you mean?
Fortune's in the follow-up.
Ah, that's right. Follow up. Don't have a conversation with somebody, take their business card, and then do nothing. Follow up. Speaking of following up, if you guys would like to hear more networking tips from Al and myself, comment more or yes, please underneath this video. And Al, what are we going to do after they make that comment?
Follow up.
Haha, that's right. See you guys later. I'll be breaking down the core 4 1 week at a time. Week 1, show up. Why simply being present can open doors to success. Week 2, be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. Week 3 is all about paying attention, the importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. Week 4, follow up. How to maintain and grow relationships beyond the first meeting. What's the most significant networking hurdle you've faced and how did you tackle it? Or are you still working on it? Let me know. Please share your biggest networking challenges and how you've addressed them in the comments below. In addition to exploring the core 4 of networking, this segment also showcases local members of the networking organizations I'm affiliated with, as well as other businesses and professionals in my network. I'll also provide insights on local networking events that I attend. This Monday is week 2, so today's topic is be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. I'm Jason Harris, unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston, aka Coach FitPro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. Today, I'm keeping it real. No guests, no script, just me sharing a bit of my journey. how I went from exotic birds to barbells, from 305 pounds to coaching fitness and closing commercial deals. You'll hear the why behind it all, and maybe even figure out why I started calling myself that title. Drop your comments and drop your guesses in the comments. Let's get into it. In an effort to be authentic and help connect with you, the audience, tonight, I thought I'd share a little bit about myself and answer the questions of why and how I got into the fitness business and commercial real estate. My name is Jason Harris, and I'm unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston. Does anyone know why I started calling myself that? Let me know in the comments if you do know. First, a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know, I'm 47 years old, 48 next month, and I was born and raised up on the North Shore of Massachusetts in Lynn. Lynn, the city of sin. You don't go out the way you came in. It was really like that. Way back in 1999, I was 22 years old and moved to South Florida. That's when I fell in love with tropical plants and palm trees. My first experience with commercial real estate was back in 2001, signing the commercial lease to my exotic bird shop in Pembroke Pines, Florida. It was called Bird Planet. We sold colorful, loud exotic birds, all the big ones, the toys, the food, the cages, and provided wing trimming and nail clipping services as well. Even had a nursery of baby birds in the back. People in the store could watch them being hand-fed. And at the time, I even owned 3 parrots as well that brought back and forth from home to the store. And that's a different story. Anyhow, my second experience with commercial real estate was years later, in late 2022, when we sold Bird Planet and had to reassign the 3-year lease to the new owner. Taking care of living things is a 365-day-a-year job, and good help that you could trust is hard to find, and it was too much. So we sold it. After selling Bird Planet, I decided to get my Florida real estate license and my mortgage broker license too, right after that, and moved about 2.5 hours north to Sebastian, Florida. For those of you that don't know where Sebastian, Florida is, maybe you know where Vero Beach, Florida is. It's just the next town north on the East Coast. In February of 2003, at the age of 26, that's when I started my 5-year career in residential real estate down in South Florida. So what does any of this have to do with why I started calling myself unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston? I'll get there, I promise. You're going to get some. Let's fast forward about 4 years to 2007. What were you doing in 2007? Take a moment, think about it. And please share in the comments, what were you doing in 2007? Talk about a throwback. I was 30 years old. 4 years into my residential real estate career, and about a year or year and a half or so into starting up my landscape renovation installation business, Tropical Islandscapes Incorporated. Told you I was in those tropical plants, so I had to make a business out of it, right? I'm pinpointing this place and time because it's when I was at my heaviest, about 305 pounds with a 46, 48-inch waistline, depending on where you put the belt on my gut, right? When I looked down, I couldn't see my feet. Needless to say, I did what was required and made the necessary changes to become fit. It took me just over a year, and my own transformation made such an impression on me. It impacted my life in so many ways, in a positive way, of course, that I wanted to help others do the same. That's why I got into the fitness business. I wasn't always fit. I've had to successfully navigate the journey of fat loss and genuinely love to help others do the same. It actually pains me to see people needlessly struggle and fail while on their journey. That's why That's the why. As far as the how goes, I got the opportunity to do some nutrition coaching and manage the personal training department of an Anytime Fitness franchise over in Sebastian. The gym was opened up by a real estate broker and his son that I used to do a lot of deals with. His son was actually on SWAT. I used to train with him, and the dad was a retired sheriff out of Georgia, but old real estate broker. I used to do a lot of deals with. They ended up opening up an Anytime Fitness, and I ended up going over there doing some nutrition coaching and managing the personal training department. That's how I got in there. And now, the how and why about commercial real estate. How did I get into commercial real estate? And why commercial versus residential? Ever since my real estate career ended back in 2008, I always had the intention to get back into real estate in some capacity. A few years ago, back in 2021, an opportunity presented itself at the right time. When I joined Toastmasters, they assigned me a mentor to help guide me through the basics of how to get the most out of my experience. My mentor happened to be Angela Nuss of Jay Nuss Realty Group, a commercial real estate brokerage and consulting firm just south of Boston in Braintree, Massachusetts. After a couple of months of mentoring in Toastmasters, I asked Angela if she would consider bringing me into the firm. I had a Zoom meeting with Jay Nuss, and things went very well. The next thing I know, I got my Massachusetts real estate license and started with the firm in November of 2021, about 3 years, a little over 3 years ago now. In a nutshell, that's how it happened. Why commercial versus residential? Well, there are 3 reasons why. The first reason, that's the opportunity that presented itself. 2, I love the unique challenges of commercial real estate versus residential. Of course, I found that out once I got into it. And 3, this is probably one of the biggest, I couldn't pass up the opportunity of having such a kind-hearted, experienced, seasoned mentor like Jay Nuss. The guy's unbelievable. I call him the Yoda of commercial real estate. A big part of commercial real estate is networking. After attending a year's worth of networking events representing Jay Nuss Realty Group, I noticed a pattern. At just about every event that I went to, there was always 2 or more people that mentioned something to me about being fit. Wow, this guy is no stranger to working out. Look at this guy's arms and shoulders. Why are you standing like that? Are you somebody's bodyguard? The things people have said to me, man, I'm telling you. I was already looking for a way to combine real estate and fitness into my brand, so I decided to take advantage of what everybody else was seeing and brand myself as such. And that's why I started calling myself unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston. You guys heard it here. Hey, you're on mute. You're on mute. Oh, that's my story. The why, the how, and the real reason I'm proud to rep both fitness and commercial real estate. If you're someone who's out there grinding in your body, your business, or both, know that change is possible. I've lived it. I help others do it. If you found this real, raw, or relatable, hit that like button, drop a comment, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. All right. Next Monday is week 3. So the topic will be pay attention, the importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. Until then, show up, be yourself, pay attention, and most of all, follow up. If you've got a story to share and you want to be a guest on the show, reach out. I'd love to have you on. Seriously, let's do this. And if you catch me at a networking event, don't hesitate to pull me aside and let some on-camera magic happen. All right, next up is the public speaking segment of the show. From stage fright to spotlight, our comprehensive public speaking segment of the show is designed to help you master this crucial skill, whether you are speaking to a large audience or just in front of a small group, like in your networking group, right? This segment of the show will give you tools that you need to shed the stage fright and step confidently into the spotlight. Kind of like what I'm doing right now online, right? This segment of the show will also have guest appearances from some of my fellow Toastmasters. And if you don't know what Toastmasters is, I'll tell you now. Toastmasters International is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. I belong to the Spirited Speakers Club out of Middleborough, Massachusetts, and we currently meet virtually on the second and the fourth Wednesdays of every month. On today's From Stage Fright to Spotlight segment, I wanted to invite you to my next Toastmaster meeting. The next Toastmaster meeting will be this Wednesday, 2 days from now. All right, June 11th. It's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to experience what the virtual meeting is all about and, see a Toastmasters meeting, comment Spirited, and I'll share the link with you. I know we already have a few guests coming now, so, it's perfect timing. Again, comment Spirited, and I'll share the meeting link with you. When you do log into the meeting, don't be scared. Like I said, there's going to be some other guests there too. Feel free to sit back and observe from the sidelines. We'll make you feel welcome, but participation is completely optional. You can participate if you want, or you could just watch. No pressure. Just relax and enjoy the experience. Hope to see you there. All right, next up. Next up is fitness success. The 4 pillars of achievement. Each week, I alone or with a guest will break down a specific pillar to help you build a balanced, sustainable fitness routine. Week 1, Pillar 1, all about nutrition habits. Master your nutrition and fuel your body for success. Week 2, Pillar 2, stress management. Practical strategies for managing life's inevitable stressors. And then week 3, Pillar 3, physical activity, tips to stay active and energized no matter your fitness level. Week 4 is all about Pillar 4, recovery measures. Recovery is key. Learn the best ways to rest, recharge, and avoid burnout both in and out of the gym. This is the second Monday of the month, so our focus today will be on Pillar 4. Let me fix this. All right. Like I said, this is the second Monday of the month, so our focus today will be on Pillar 2, stress management, practical strategies for managing life's inevitable stressors. So today we're diving into the power of energy healing with Britt, all right, a Reiki expert and mindfulness teacher, to show you how tuning into your body and resetting your nervous system can boost your focus, reduce stress, and sharpen your decision making. Who doesn't want that, right? So if you want to stay grounded and energized in a fast-paced world, this is for you. Check out this video. Tonight, we're going to talk about the mind-body connection, okay, in relation to yoga, meditation, and Reiki energy healing. Before I bring out Britt from backstage, I wanted to play a couple of Britt's testimonials for you so you can see what some of the people that have been working with her say. Let me go ahead and cue up this first one. There you go. Here's the first.
Hey, so I wanted to record a quick video about my experience working with Britt. I have been working with her on a monthly basis for about a year now. I look forward to each session. We sit down, we have a quick catch up. I share with her any issues or blocks I'm facing in my life or in my business. And then I get to relax and let Britt and the Reiki energy do their work. Every session is different. Sometimes it's really calming and peaceful. Other times it's super energizing. It's always exactly what I need at that time. Overall, every session is very grounding and affirming that I'm on the right track and that Spirit has my back. So it's been a great experience. Britt also provides a really nice written summary at the end of after our session, and I find that super helpful. I journal on it. I reflect back on it through the month. It's been really a great experience. So highly recommend.
All right, that's Britt's first testimonial, and she has been working with her for about a year. This next one's been working with her for about 2 years. Let's listen to this one, then I'll bring her out.
I think what I love the most about Britt is that she customizes your every session and to you, and she hears you. She listens, she hears, but she also really helps you bridge that gap in finding your spiritual practice on a personal level and how it incorporates both in business and just your life and like outside of just the internal personal.
All right, I had to short that one. That was a lengthy one. All right, so I'm going to bring out Britt Shemla Jones. All right, let me get this a little bit bigger. How's it going, Britt? How are you?
Good. Thanks, Jason. I'm so happy to be here. And I love my clients so much. It's just so awesome to see them talking like that. It's just really cool.
Excellent. So, Britt, would you mind introducing yourself to the members of the group so that they know who you are and more about what you do?
Sure. So my name is Britt Shemla Jones. I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, Reiki energy healer. This is my yoga room. You can see my yoga mats behind me. And what I do is I blend the three modalities together. So the yoga, the meditation, and the energy healing into sessions with my clients so that I can address aligning and healing body, mind, and spirit in a really holistic way. Because as we were talking about before, it's all connected. It all works together. So there's no reason to keep those three parts of your life, the body, the mind, and the spirit, separate. You can work with them together at the same time.
All right, excellent. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So what is the link between a person's thoughts, attitude, and behaviors in relation to their physical health?
Yeah. So mindset is incredibly important, and how we view our own physical body and how we how we view our physical body is going to affect how we treat our physical body. And so being able to become friends with our physical body and really care for it, not for how it looks, but what it does for us. And so because I'm a spiritual healer, I love to talk about how your body is just a receptacle for your soul. And so it needs to be healthy so that you can fulfill your soul's purpose. And I love also to talk about the two types of mind that we have. And it's interesting because from a brain anatomy perspective, this actually also is true, that we have a primitive mind or a primitive side of the brain that is focused on survival, focused on keeping you safe, so that you can live a long life and not much happens to you. And that part of the mind is always time traveling. It's always looking at the past and looking at the future, looking at the past to rehash things that have happened to you and see where you might have made a mistake so that you don't make that mistake again. So that's why we're always like thinking over and over again about things that have happened in our past. And it'll think also about the future and worry about the future and think of all the worst case scenarios. That's when we're like ruminating about possible future
What
problems.
if, what if?
What if? And it's constantly trying to predict problems so that you don't get into trouble in the future. And so that primitive part of the mind is constantly going back and forth between the past and the future. But the higher mind is always in the present. And that's where we come into the idea of practicing mindfulness or meditation and being in the present moment, where you can actually make decisions for your life, make decisions for how you want to treat your body, how you want to feel in your body. And those are based on, and so being in the present, practicing mindfulness, the easiest way to do that is to really connect to your physical body. Because when you think about it, your physical body is always in the present moment. Your mind can be time traveling past, future, but your physical body is always in the present. So if you can bring your awareness to your physical body, then you're instantly practicing mindfulness. And I'm sure that you work with your clients about on like having proper form when they are working on their in with you in their practices. That's a type of mindfulness. I think people get intimidated with the idea of mindfulness, that it has to be sitting cross-legged on a meditation cushion, but it doesn't have to be that. As long as you're in the present, you're very aware of the moment that you're in. Any kind of work like that is going to be mindfulness. So bringing your awareness to your physical body, how your physical body feels, where it is in space, what you're doing at that moment, is a type of mindfulness. And it just brings up your desire for health and your desire to really connect to your physical body, not from a perspective of how does it look, but how does it feel from within, and do I feel safe within the body, and do I feel welcomed within the physical body.
No, that makes so much sense. It's funny. I say that makes so much sense. And we have a comment here. June said it makes so much sense too. I mean, it just does. I never thought of it like that, um, directly like that, as far as your mind being able to time travel and thinking of things in the past to like kind of forewarn you not to make the same mistake, if you will. And then thinking into the future as well, at what if, what could happen? What if this goes wrong, that goes wrong? And of course, I've heard of, being negative like that can manifest itself as well, just like positive stuff can manifest itself in a positive thing, thinking positive all the time. But as far as the whole mindfulness thing, to be explained like that, where you bring your mind or yourself away from the time travel and into
Yeah,
the present to
yeah,
your physical body, because you can feel now. So just the fact of, like you said, about people having problems with mindfulness, I think it's so difficult or whatever. And it's really actually really simple. All it really is bringing yourself to the present. So just sitting there, like I have some of my clients do something called mind-body connection every now and again, um, for different situations. And all they do is they sit there or lie there and just close their eyes and just breathe and just feel what they're feeling with their physical body. It's bringing them to the present. So they're not thinking about, oh no, what if this happens? And they're not thinking about, oh, what if that happens again? It's the present. So yeah, that makes so much sense to me as well. It
yeah.
really does. So, um, how do we see the body respond to the mind-body connections, during different events and negative and positive? How does that work?
Yeah, so that brings up like the stress response and how do we deal with stress. So the body has different nervous systems. We have the autonomic nervous system, which is all about automatic things that happen, like your heartbeat, or the fact that you keep breathing even when you're asleep. You don't have to think about breathing. But the two nervous systems I wanted to talk about are the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is your stress response. That's the fight, flight, or freeze response. So something stressful, scary happens, you're going to either fight your way out, you're going to run away, or you're going to have a freeze response. And the freeze response is like a camouflage response where you kind of like try to blend into the background and hide. Um, and so what's interesting is that, in this modern world that we live in, we often turn on the stress response even when it's not a life or death situation. We don't have to fight, we don't have to run away, we don't have to hide. But we are turning on that stress response. The sympathetic nervous system is getting turned on, even for very minor things. And the way that it affects the physical body is that when the sympathetic nervous system is on, your heart rate increases because your body is getting ready to act and do something. Blood leaves your torso and goes into your arms and legs because you might need to fight or run. And your inhalations get really long and big because you're trying to build energy so you can act. And so we know that this happens when we're stressed out about something. Even if we're stressed out about something minor, we can feel the heartbeat increasing. And that's why if you're really stressed out, you have a hard time digesting your food because all the blood has left the torso and is in the limbs. And so that really messes with your digestive system. And so the parasympathetic nervous system is the other one. That's the rest and digest nervous system. And so that's when there's nothing stressful going on and you can just relax, digest your meal, and just chill and be happy and do nothing. And so when that one happens, your exhalation gets really long, your inhales are very short, your heart rate slows down, and the blood leaves your limbs and moves into your torso so you can digest your food. So, and by the way, that's why we get cold when we meditate, because the blood has left the limbs and goes into the torso because we're in the relaxation response. But
Interesting.
here's the coolest thing ever. So when the brain sees something happening that seems scary, it'll send a message to the body to turn on the sympathetic nervous system. And the message will travel along the vagus nerve, which is a major nerve in the body. However, the messages on the vagus nerve can go both ways. It's not just the brain talking to the body can also talk to the brain. And so if you notice that your stress response has increased or gotten turned on, but you look around and you realize you're not in danger, this is not a serious stress problem that needs to be addressed, and you decide to turn off the stress response, you can do that by affecting what's going on in your physical body and sending the message back up the vagus nerve, back up to the brain to turn off the stress response. And the way that you do that is by increasing your exhalation and decreasing your inhalation. So you make your out breath longer and your in breath shorter, and it will turn off the stress response and turn on the relaxation response. The problem is it takes about 5 minutes for the signal to travel along the vagus nerve to your brain. And people give up before the 5 minutes. So when you're stressed out, all you need to do is extend your exhalations for 5 minutes, give your brain the time to get the signal that it can turn off the stress response, and it will. It absolutely 100% works. You just need to give it the 5 minutes.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah,
That's
it's
excellent. I was about to say just, close your eyes, do a mind body scan sort of thing, but hopefully it'll be 5 minutes though. But yeah,
just
awesome.
time to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put that in my toolbox. I'll be using that one. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So another question, and by the way, just everybody that's watching this right now, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment in the comments section. You can get it answered live right now while we're in this. Otherwise, if you're watching this on a replay, go ahead and ask a question, and I'll get it answered at some point in time. But you can still ask as well. Speaking of questions, I have another question for us to talk about. So. What is the energy body and what are the chakras? I know a bit about chakras, but some of the listeners probably have not. And, what's your explanation of that?
Yeah. So I'm a Reiki healer, which is a type of distance energy healing that
Yeah,
works.
I'm sorry, let's talk about that first. Reiki healing. What is that all about? Because you just talked about how the mind and the body is connected in certain ways.
Mhm.
But could you explain what Reiki is and then along with what we were just talking about, the mind-body connection, how does that come into play? Or what is its function?
Yeah. So Reiki is a type of energy healing. So we have a physical body, we have a mental, we have our mind. You can think of it as a mental body, but specifically in terms of Reiki, we have an energy body. And you can think of it as your soul. So it's like the spiritual side of who you are. And sometimes the energy body can get out of balance, and that relates to the chakras, which I'll talk about in a second. And so Reiki is a type of energy healing that works at a distance that can help you to realign your chakras and clear your energy body.
When you say at a distance, what are you referring to? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so the reason why I decided to practice Reiki, and I've been doing Reiki for about 10 years now, is because it was always designed to work at a distance. So in ancient times, you would write somebody's name on a piece of paper, and then the Reiki healer would send Reiki to that name of paper, the name on the piece of paper. Or the Reiki healer would send Reiki to somebody's photograph. And it was like meant to work at a distance where the healer and the client are not in the same room. Today we have the internet, which is so awesome that
I was going to say, could you send it by email?
by email, I don't know. Well, yeah, why not? I mean, Reiki travels across time and space, and I have clients all over the world, and it's just amazing. I will send them Reiki, and they will have an energetic experience where they are, even though we are separated
Awesome.
miles. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. And I've been doing this for so long and I'm still amazed at how well it works. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the chakras.
Yeah. The chakras. So, I like to start with acupuncture. I think that's a nice way to explain how the chakras work. So 50 years ago, acupuncture was not very well accepted in the West. Today, it's very well accepted. We have acupuncture everywhere. You'll have acupuncture in Western hospitals. And we know that it works, and we know that it's very effective for some issues, some problems. So acupuncture very well accepted in the West today. However, from a Western science perspective, there's no reasonable explanation as to why acupuncture works. The acupuncture healer puts needles in your skin, but not on specific muscles or specific nerves or on specific glands or anything. They're putting the needles on energy channels that can't be seen, cannot be dissected. So from a Western perspective, there's no reason why acupuncture works because we can't see those energy channels, but we know that it does. So acupuncture comes from traditional Chinese medicine. And in traditional Chinese medicine, those energy channels are called meridians. Now, if you shift to India, in the yoga Indian tradition, energy channels are called nadis. Same thing, just two different cultures have two different names for energy channels. Where you have major nadis, major energy channels that intersect, those are chakras. They're just energy centers where energy channels intersect. So we have tens of thousands of energy channels throughout the energy body. And when people talk about the chakras, they usually mean the 7 main chakras, which are along your core, but there's minor chakras in other parts of the body, wherever energy channels intersect.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like you have chakras in your palms and you have chakras in the soles of your feet.
I thought it was just the 7.
No, there's, you can get really esoteric because there's actually chakras outside of your body floating above your head and below your feet. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. And so, yeah, so each chakra has its own purpose, its own function. You can think of them as organs for the energy body. So just like physical organs have a function and a purpose, each chakra has its own function or purpose.
So hence the throat chakra, the heart chakra, okay.
Right. Yeah. And I think that was your next question coming up of like, how do they all work?
That's right. How do the chakras work as far as connection in the mind and body?
Yeah. So I can go through them if you like.
No, please. And I have a question as well that I'll save for afterwards since we're into the chakras. But anyone else that has any other questions as well, we'll get to them at the end of this. But go ahead. Yeah, the chakras as far as how they are connected to the mind and the body, the physical body.
Yeah. So the bottom chakra is at the bottom of your pelvis, and that's called the root chakra. And that one is all about survival and about feeling safe and about receiving and being open to receive. So anyone who feels unsafe or who had a very tumultuous childhood, for example, might have a root chakra that is out of balance. Or if somebody is manifesting something and then the moment that it arrives, they reject it, that would be an out of balance root chakra. Or somebody who has poor boundaries. Like they have poor boundaries with their family members or even in business with their clients, that would be a root chakra that's out of balance. If you move up, the sacral chakra is deep in the belly, below the belly button. And that's the chakra of creativity, subconscious creativity, fun and joy, and just being in the flow with the universe. It's where you're coming up with a new idea for your business, for example, or you're a musician and you're like birthing a new song, but it hasn't emerged yet. So it's becoming created in the sacral chakra. And then moving up, you have the solar plexus chakra, which is in the belly, above the belly button. And that one is the chakra of confidence and personal power and self-esteem. So if a client comes to me and she has really low self-confidence, I know instantly that we need to work on her solar plexus chakra and get that into shape. And so what's interesting is you can move the physical body to affect the chakras, or you can use energy healing, or you can use mindfulness. So if a solar plexus chakra is out of balance, I'll have her do a lot of core work, because it'll be a way to move the physical body and balance the solar plexus chakra at the same time.
Oh, so it benefits the body and the chakra. Two birds, one stone.
Yep, exactly. And if, going back down to the sacral chakra, anybody who has a deficient or out of balance sacral chakra, we would do a lot of hip opening poses in yoga, or to find some flexibility in the hips. Moving up to the heart chakra, that's in the center of the chest, near the physical heart. And that's the chakra of self-love, self-compassion, self-patience, always remembering that you have to love yourself first before you can love others. And so it's about giving yourself this love. And so clients of mine who are overwhelmed and overworked, never taking time off, that tells me that their heart chakra is deficient and needs to be opened. And so that would be a lot of like opening poses to like open the chest, would align the heart.
Shoulders back. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The throat chakra in the center of the throat, that's the chakra of expressive creativity. So you create something subconsciously in the sacral chakra, and then you express it in the throat chakra. So speaking your truth, showing up authentically on social media, for example, for your business, just having that confidence to just speak what is true to your heart, that's in the throat chakra. So somebody who's really shy, and when a throat chakra is blocked, it feels like there's words that want to come out, but they don't. And so it almost feels like there's a sentinel right there that just like keeps the words from coming out. That's an out of balance throat chakra. And then moving up, you have the third eye, which is the sixth chakra in the center of the forehead. That's the chakra of visions and intuition and wisdom, and kind of like seeing the patterns behind the surface, just understanding how things work below the surface. And then at the very top is the crown chakra. That's the chakra of connection to spirit. It's the fontanelle in a baby that is open when the baby is born, and then it slowly closes as you close in your soul inside your physical body. And so
Interesting. I haven't heard it explained like that before.
yeah,
That's an awesome explanation of the chakras.
yeah. And so, I can have a conversation with one of my clients and very quickly know which chakra is out of balance, needs to be aligned. And then in my sessions, what I do is I come up with a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation, and a little bit of energy healing to bring it all together, to bring the chakras that are out of balance back into balance through movement, through the mind, and then through spirit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty neat. You're attacking, well, balancing, not attack is probably
Yeah,
not a good word to use in this, but yeah, you're balancing the chakras through different modalities,
yeah,
physically and mentally.
exactly. Yeah. And I find
Awesome.
it really effective. I do have some clients that they think they don't like yoga or they don't want to try it, which is fine. I can help them through just using mind and spirit. But when a client is open to actually moving the physical body, we're able to go much deeper and really find some great balance.
No, that's awesome. That's great. A lot of people need to slow down a little bit and take a breath and whatnot. Like you said, these days today, it's just everybody's always constantly on the go, on the go, on the go. And not only that, they're grabbing for convenience foods and feeding themselves processed foods at the same time. They're not getting enough sleep, like all of that. People are just, they need help.
Yeah.
They need help. So I have a question here from June. Let's see. It says, with the meditation, is there a better time of the day, as in the morning or evening before bed?
No, it's whenever you can do it.
Right. That's what I thought too. I mean, I like to tell people that they should meditate if they're starting to feel overwhelmed in the day, no matter
Mhm.
when that is in the day. You start to feel overwhelmed, you know, just take 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes and just breathe. It could be in a quiet place if you can't, whatever. Just close your eyes and breathe and just be aware of your breath and just follow your breath.
Yeah,
Set a timer and that's it.
yeah, absolutely. I use this image that I like to use with my clients to visualize what meditation feels like. So, and you can do this with your eyes open or closed, but imagine a glass of water, and this is muddy water. And you're going to place this glass of muddy water on a table, and then you're going to wait and watch the mud sink down to the bottom until you only have a layer of mud at the bottom and you have beautiful clear water above. And that's what meditation feels like. It takes a little bit of time. It's not going to instantaneously, you're going to have the mud and the water separate. It's going to take a bit of time for the mud to sink down. And if you can imagine just watching that process happen of just, setting, like even with your eyes closed, just setting the glass on the table, and then slowly you see the mud separate from the water. I find that that's a very calming image, and it shows how meditation needs a little bit of time. It
Some
doesn't,
patience.
it requires a little bit of patience, absolutely. And yeah, just being able to do that, and as you said, also bringing in the breath. If you can watch that mud sink down and breathe at the same time, I think that's really helpful. And whenever you need it is when you can do it. I find sometimes people ask for details on how to meditate or when to meditate because they're looking for a reason not to. And so the answer is you can whenever you want to. It should become just something that's part of your life that feels good, that you enjoy doing. And so whenever it fits into your life, it's perfect.
Talk about, and June said, thank you, by the way. And also, it's, like brushing your teeth benefits you, right? You know,
Right.
good breath, good hygiene, oral hygiene. Um, People need to think more of good mental hygiene, and this is
Mhm.
part of it, a big part of it. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, this is huge. So how can they find you?
Yeah.
How can they find you, Britt?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And there's my website, britchamla.com. If you want to look for me on Facebook, it's just my name, Brit Shamla Jones. If you want to find me on Instagram, also just my name, Brit Shamla Jones. So as long as you know my name, you can find me. Yeah, and people can just send me DMs if you have questions. I'm happy to answer any questions. um, yeah, and I love working with my clients. It's always so rewarding, and it's sometimes people get a little nervous working with an energy healer. They think I don't know, that it's mysterious or something, but it's always really a beautiful experience. It's always really positive. It's always really happy and joyful, so nothing to be nervous about.
I feel that if I feel like anybody really should at least give it a real try,
Yeah.
because there really is benefits, many, many benefits in it, and it can change your life for the better, big time, especially if you're kind of like all over the place. It'll help get you more grounded, if you will. And what I'll do is I'll end up putting her information underneath this video, or on the comments anywhere. Or anybody it's going to be a replay. Anybody that gets the replay, I will make sure that you get her information on how to get a hold of her for sure. But definitely BritShamlaJones.com. You could definitely get a hold of her. So, anything else to add for everybody, Britt?
Um, no, I think we covered it all, covered a lot. It's all connected, body, mind, spirit. The the reason why it works so well to move the physical body and affect the chakras and bring them into balance is because the energy body and the physical body are completely intertwined. They're not two separate things like Russian dolls, where you have one inside the other. That's not how it is. They're completely intertwined. And so anytime that you work on your mindset or that you work on your physical body so that you feel good from, how you feel inside your body, anytime that you work on spiritual questions that you have, all of that works together, and it just brings you into a state of more wholeness and more holistic health. So just to keep working at all those things together at the same time.
Well, like you were saying too, as far as the physical body and the mind or the energy, if you will, they are connected, meaning when you're stressed out physically, right, your body, it messes you up mentally and vice versa. So
Absolutely.
no, that the deaf people need to take more care of their mental, and that's one of the major reasons why I had you on, and it is a part of my coaching process is definitely stress management, the recovery part, meditation. Um, that was awesome. I learned a lot today. I
Right.
know that some other people have definitely. Definitely got to have you on again, and maybe we can get more into some of the chakras or some of the modalities that you use to get people balanced that are unbalanced, and maybe even have a couple people on that had the experience of being unbalanced and now they're not, and the process that they went through and their experience with it, to help some other people get wrap their mind around trying it at least. You know what I mean? Hearing
Yeah,
from other people probably help. So we'll definitely do something like that in the future for sure.
that would be like.
Um,
Thank you so much for having me. That was really fun.
all right, awesome. Thank you for coming. So that's this evening's broadcast. Please let people in your circle know about this group because I'm trying to grow it. I'd really appreciate it. If you have any further questions about Reiki Yoga Meditation, BrittShemlaJones.com, and you can contact me and I can help you get a hold of her if you can't. Don't forget this Thursday. I keep muting myself. Remember, success isn't just about the hustle. It's also about balancing your energy and staying present. Britt's approach to Reiki and mindfulness offers practical tools to help you manage stress and perform at your best. Try incorporating these practices into your routine and watch how it transforms your business and life. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it moving, and above all else, keep it real, especially when it comes to your fitness. That wraps up today's fitness success segment. Next Monday is week 3, so we'll be discussing Pillar 3, physical activity, tips to stay active and energized no matter your fitness level. Want to join the conversation as a guest or have your questions featured on the next episode? Just drop a comment below. Yes, even if you're watching the replay. Let us know and we'll make it happen. All right, now let's move on to the final segment for today. The Real Estate Roundup segment keeps you updated on the latest in the real estate world, whether you're interested in residential or commercial. This segment's got you covered. I'll invite guest experts on to share insights and discuss the subjects that you want to hear more about. If you didn't already know, I'm with Jay Nuss Realty Group. Jay Nuss Realty Group, we are a commercial real estate brokerage and consulting firm out of Braintree, Massachusetts, servicing all of Eastern Massachusetts. We specialize in commercial real estate transactions, including sales and leases. And we also consult on a variety of commercial real estate related matters, including, but not limited to, nonprofits, religious and otherwise, potentially environmentally compromised property, and also transit-oriented development. Other services include lease audits, and if you or anyone you know owns a commercial property and wants to know its worth on the current market, we can do a commercial broker opinion of value for you. If you or someone you know is in need of a commercial real estate professional, please contact us directly or comment on this video and we will follow up with you. All right. Residential agents out there. Have you ever tried to navigate a commercial lease or sales transaction and were confused by it or got stuck? Did I mention that we also work with residential real estate brokers? So if you are a residential agent or broker in need of commercial expertise, please don't hesitate to contact us for assistance. What real estate topics spark your curiosity the most? residential, commercial, or something completely different. I'd really appreciate it if you shared your thoughts in the comments. And if you are watching the replay, your input is just as valuable, so please leave a comment. Your feedback will guide me in creating future content. All right, keeping it moving. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Keeping It Real. Like I said, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every week, we'll dive into important topics that will help you grow with a mix of fun and practical advice, from nutrition habits to real estate, public speaking skills to networking strategies. This show is designed to inspire you, keep it real, and of course, keep it fun. Today, in the Core 4 of Networking segment, in an effort to connect with you, I shared a bit about myself and explained why I've branded myself unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston. Then in the public speaking segment of the show, From Stage Fright to Spotlight, I invited you to visit my next virtual Toastmaster meeting. Again, that's 2 days from now, Wednesday, okay, the 11th, and that is from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time virtually. All you got to do is comment "Spirited" under this video, and I will send you the meeting link so you can see what it's all about. In the fitness success segment, Britt showed us how tuning into your body and resetting your nervous system can boost your focus, reduce stress, and sharpen your decision making. Then lastly, in the real estate roundup segment, I told you about the services of my commercial real estate brokerage and consulting firm, Jay Nuss Realty Group, and how we love working with residential agents. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a comment about what you liked. And if you didn't, let me know that too. All feedback is welcome. If you arrived after we started or missed any details, don't worry. You can always check out the replay. Before we end the show, I have one last thing to share. Every show will end on a high note with a funny meme or short, hilarious video to keep you smiling. Please stand by for this week's funny moment. It's funny, man. I'm Generation X, so I can't help it.
I can't swim.
How old are you?
6. Help him, he can't swim.
Time he learned. Everybody should swim. Just reach out in front of you and grab a handful of water. Pull it back towards you. Not too fast. That's the way I learned.
I did it, Emerado, I did it.
Good.
Well, how'll he get back?
Swim.
Well, he might drown.
Well, then you go get
Well,
it.
I can't swim either.
We are Gen X.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I can't wait to see you for more Keeping It Real. Be sure to leave your comments, share your thoughts, and don't hesitate to get involved. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep it real. See you next week on Monday, June 16th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you then.
I know everybody a go like. I know everybody a go like. Success don't come overnight. No matter no substance over hype.